Whenever I see somebody who has building in stealth mode in their LinkedIn profile, if I'm drinking a cup of coffee like this, I often spit it back in the cup because I just think that this is a horrible idea and it will almost certainly ensure that your startup will fail. Number one, no one is going to steal your idea who could actually execute your idea. Anybody who has the ability to go out and actually do something, which is not many people, they are already doing something. And that thing that they're doing, they think is worth more than your idea. I promise you. Number two, you actually need feedback. And two types of feedback are the type of feedback that I am looking for, right? Who is doing totally the opposite of building in stealth. As you can, if you're following me on LinkedIn, you know. Number one, I'm looking for feedback from my ideal customer profiles. Santosh and I have literally been on 200 calls since Labor Day as we've been building this tool, talking to people who fit a very tight profile of people who we believe will be our ideal customer profile in 6 months. We have learned an unbelievable amount from them. It has given me so much more conviction in what we're doing, and we've changed the trajectory of it, given those conversations, than if they wouldn't have happened. The other type of feedback is from founders who are ahead of you. We all make a set of very similar mistakes the first time around. And even though you're going to make a lot of them regardless of what somebody tells you, it's very helpful to hear guidance on prioritization and what you should be focused on that a more experienced founder can give you. Number three, I heard this saying long ago, ideas are like assholes, everybody's got one. Whatever you think your big secret is, there is another team already working on that secret. That's just the reality of it. Like, information is flowing so freely, and like every invention, is kind of like a combination of what's before it. So please do not think that what you have in mind as this genius idea is in any way novel. What is novel would be your ability to go out there and make it into a reality, which is the whole journey that entrepreneurs are on. Ideas are just multipliers of execution. If you type that phrase into Google, this guy, Dan Slivers, was an entrepreneur. He wrote a great book, and he's got a table that's basically like, however good you are at doing stuff, a great idea will just accelerate your ability to do stuff. If you have not proven that you can execute yet, an idea is literally worth nothing, which anybody who is in the position of being an entrepreneur for many years, that is why they are not going to steal your idea, because they appreciate what they have, the war that they have been through to get to the point that they are. And they're so deeply engrossed in it that they're just not going to do it. Building in stealth, in my opinion, in this day and age, and this could change with ChatGPT, but it's still definitely the case now, it just makes it super risky to build software, because what you really need to be doing, and I encourage everyone who's listening to this to read and follow word for word 4 Steps to the Epiphany by Steve Blank. You need to be, as you're developing the product, you need another team out there developing a customer base for that product and validating what you're building as you are building it. BarkBox is now a publicly traded company. I talked to the founder in 2011. They literally walked around Washington Square Park with not even a website, a picture of a website on a telephone and a Square plug-in to the phone, and he swiped 50 credit cards without even a website or a product or nothing, right? Like, the best indicator of early stage product market fit is that. Are people willing to pay you for something that does not even exist yet? Another great one is this company called Single Platform, which got bought for $100 million 18 months after launch by Constant Contact. This guy, Wiley Sorelli, was walking around to restaurants and getting physical checks for $750 off of a pitch deck. And then when they handed him the check, he said, well, we don't have this yet, but when we do, you're going to be the first customer. If you have the discipline to do that, it will serve you very well, right? Figuring out what somebody will pay for even before you start building is like the lowest risk way. Where you're going to get into trouble is if you spend a year and a half building something and then you go to launch it and people don't like what you built. And unfortunately, that happens more often than not because that's the intuitive way to do it. Our intuition is a terrible indicator of market viability. Even doing this for 10 years, 1 out of every 4 ideas I have is worth pursuing. It takes hundreds of conversations for me to figure out, even with the intuition that I've developed, that it's something worth deploying resources to. I try to be way down the road of knowing that that's probably the case before we allocate any development resources to it. The surest sign, in my opinion, of a total rookie is someone who tries to get you to sign an NDA to share their idea. Anybody who you're going to who knows the game and what goes into making an idea a reality will probably laugh in your face for this. So spare yourself the embarrassment. Don't ever ask somebody to sign an NDA to share an idea. Talk to people. That is how you're going to be successful.